Alrighty, so I know a lot of people are not summoning for this collab, which is completely understandable. Do whatever you want. Doesn't really matter to me. Obviously, do what's best for your account and everything, and you know, have fun with the game, most importantly. But one of the big things that this collab does is bring around collab holy relics, which are not super common, of course, because they only come around during collaborations. But the big thing to note here is that all collaboration relic boxes have the same materials in them. So if you are maybe an older player who is returning to the game, or whatever the case may be, there is a good chance that you might have missed out on some of the relics from previous collaborations, such as, you know, the KOF collab, Tensura, which is the Slime collab, ReZero, Shield Hero, you know, whichever ones. If you were playing during those times, maybe you just were not super active, maybe you couldn't figure out where to get the box, whatever the case was, you could have missed out on a box, and you don't have a collab relic for one of your characters at this point. Obviously, all of the collab relics are free, so you just have to play events and stuff like that to get them. So we're just going to go over where to get the ones today, so that way you can make sure that even if you are skipping the collaboration, you can at least grab the boxes if you need them for previous collab relics, or if you are just looking for where to find the relics on this collaboration specifically, so that way you can get the ones for this collab. You know, I've got you covered, I guess. So, obviously, they do post this information in the patch notes, but we'll show you in-game as well, just in case you don't really understand, you know, what the titles of these things are. So, we do have the different materials that you get out of the box. You just get the box in general, and then it goes straight into your inventory, so don't think that as soon as you get the box that you're good to craft the relic. Make sure that you go into your inventory and actually open the box first, because that's going to give you the actual materials themselves. But yeah, you can see here, we have the spin event, which if you look in the actual game, you can go over to the little banner up here at the top, which is the, you know, collaboration banner. This is going to show you all of the events that are going on for the collab at the moment. You can go to the spin event, and if we click on the little box with the hourglass at the top, you'll notice that these are all of the rewards that you get from completing each full page, basically. Or, well, it's not necessarily completing the full page, but most of the time the reward is going to be in the very top left slot, which means that it's a little bit tougher to get. I guess the odds of you rolling the lower numbers and grabbing these materials first is more likely, but it's really just like a 1 in 3 chance on whether or not you're going to pull stuff out of each row. But yeah, so you can basically, you know, grab the item in the top left of each one of these. I highly recommend that if you're going to skip any of these, because you can just, at this point, I could reset this one and just push to the next one. I highly recommend just going ahead and grabbing the materials out of each one of these, because they're free. You get a ton of those little, you know, Roxy doll, you know, entry tickets as the event goes on. This is a 3-week collaboration, so there's not really any reason to skip these unless you're just, like, absolutely in a hurry. Maybe you don't need some of these materials. I guess that's fine. Do whatever you really want, but it is free stuff at the end of the day. But if we go to that little hourglass on the chest, you'll notice that there are a couple of free Rudius different, like, pieces for his cosmetics and everything. You get a free weapon, a free outfit, and a free cosmetic. Or this is the outfit. You get a headpiece, weapon, and outfit, so that's a full SSR cosmetic. But the collaboration Holy Relic box is at the very end, so it's on reset number 7. So it's quite a ways in. Unfortunately, they're kind of staggering the way that you get these, so that way you can't get them all in one day, which is kind of unfortunate, because I would love to just mess around with each of the characters, but it is what it is. If we look at the next one, there's 2 of them actually from the new boss battle event. So if we scroll down and go to the event deathmatch, Deadly Encounter, which is where you fight Orsted. If you need one, I have already made a guide on how to beat this boss pretty easily as a free-to-play player with, you know, a very accessible team. But obviously, if you have better units, you could just use those. But the big thing here is that if you go to the challenge clear rewards, you can only play this 3 times a day. So if you can beat it 9 times in total, so 3 days worth of runs, you will actually get a collaboration box right here. So tomorrow, whenever the reset happens, I can end up doing 3 more runs, grab this next Holy Relic box, which I think should be the second one that you can get, because the first one that you can get, you know, day 1 is from the actual event exchange shop. If you're doing it on a pretty decent difficulty, you should be getting a pretty good amount of these little pieces of paper, or the fabric, I guess. But you can see I've already purchased the box itself. It was 150 fabric. all you have to do is just run it a couple of times, grab the materials, and then use the exchange shop to grab this one. So I think this is the earliest one that you can get by far, because it really doesn't take any time at all. And then the last one you can see on the list here is from the Mystic Forest Adventure. It does say from the middle base. It says middle base clear reward, so I'm assuming that it is the third base. If you're not aware of how this game mode works, basically you're just going to be gaining these little icons in the bottom left. I'll move my camera so you can see there's different icons for each of the characters. You sort of gain materials for those characters by harvesting them out of the camps, so make sure that you are just logging into the game periodically, grabbing the materials out of these. If you can, try to grab the books or whatever that you get from different activities and upgrade your camp, so that way you get more materials each time the 10-minute timer goes all the way down, and then you use those materials to sort of fight these bases. You can change it to show like which stamina you actually need. So this one needs 50 of the Rudius stamina and 70 of the Ghislaine stamina. So you've got that going for you, I guess. But the second base is actually engraving stone. So I'm assuming it's this base right here, this third boss base, that is actually going to have the Holy Relic box, unless for some reason they said middle base clear for no reason, and it's actually on the very last one, but I would assume it's on the third one. Normally the last one has like a big grand, reward or anything, but do make sure that you're upgrading your bases, because that's actually how you end up getting the special rewards for this. You can see that most of my bases are level 4, actually level 4, and then I have a level 3 base and a level 5 base at the moment. So, as you upgrade your bases all the way up to level 10, you'll get different rewards for each milestone, and you're pretty much good to go. So those are how you get all of the relics. Just make sure, like I said, you open up the box inside your inventory, so that way you actually get the materials, and then you should be able to go over to the Holy Relic, craft it, and then you'll have the materials ready to go. It does cost a lot of gold, so make sure that if you are low on gold, that you go ahead and farm up, because at a certain point, I think as soon as this update ends, which is on global, it's the 5/29 update, so I think it's a week after the collaboration has already been over with, they're actually going to remove the boxes and sort of materials from your inventory, so they will get actually deleted out of your inventory if you don't use them. So make sure that you grab them while you can. Obviously, if you already have all of the old collab relics, if you've already, if you play a little bit more actively and you were able to get all of the relics as of the time of them coming out, and you're skipping this collab, you're probably already caught up anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But yeah, just wanted to make sure that you guys were able to get these, you know where to get them from and how to use them and everything, because that always ends up becoming a question that I see pretty frequently whenever collaborations come out. It's like, hey, where do I find this Holy Relic box? Just know that they are kind of staggered to a point where you kind of get them periodically throughout the first week. You can't necessarily get them all at one time. So that's pretty much it from me. I don't have anything else to say. Obviously, I should have more, character showcases and everything from the collab coming soon. I'm waiting for the Holy Relics to come out, because I don't really think that there's a point in showcasing a character whenever they give you pretty much all of the materials you need to have the Holy Relic and everything. So showcasing it without it just doesn't really seem like a good move. Like it seems pointless, So either way, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe. See you later.